Cool. So what we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be talking a little bit about giving people access to documentation. We're obviously focusing a little bit on the remote worker, so the guys that are not necessarily in the office. And obviously over the last 6 months, that's been pretty much everybody, I think, but at some stage. But certainly there's some people who maybe that's always been their norm, or maybe it's just their future norm. But I guess business has changed, and business is constantly evolving for every one of us. So what we'll be aiming to cover off today, we're going to go through a little bit about our mobile applications. So for some of you, will be aware of some of those applications. For other people, it'll be brand new to you. Absolutely no problem either way. Hopefully we'll give you a bit of an introduction today, and that'll hopefully mean that we can build on that, and you guys can obviously reach out to us and get some support for training and extra help with those mobile apps moving forward. We'll then do a bit of a demo, and I'll aim to show you some of those apps in general, and also some of the mobile working kind of in general. I'll aim to do a demo of that, and then we'll finish off just with some questions and answers. I'm not aiming to be taking up more than about 30 minutes of your time today, so between 25 and 30 minutes I would have thought will be good to go. So without further ado, I'm just going to kick off. My name's Andy. I am the Regional Sales Director for the UK in the North. So some of you may know some of my other colleagues, Eugene, who looks after the UK and Ireland business, and also Richard, who is our technical resource, and Ross, who's just joined us from the United States, who again is another technical resource there, but is settling into UK life. So anyone that knows him, please feel free to reach out and wish him well, sort of thing. So first things first, we're going to focus in on that mobile phone. But before I do, one thing that I really want to kind of make everyone aware of that isn't already aware is that DocuWare is a truly mobile platform. And what I mean by truly mobile platform is we literally are in a position now where we can function and we can carry out our daily tasks from anywhere in the world on any device. Providing we have an internet connection, we are good to go. Now that could be a tablet, it could be a mobile phone, it could be a laptop, it could be a computer. You're free to go on any device, and that's done through some of the mobile apps, which you can see on the picture there, all the way through to working directly through a web browser on our more sort of computer and laptop type devices. So let's kick off with the first of kind of how we work. Now I'm going to focus in on exactly what the point is initially, and just hopefully some of you will have seen some of this before, and I'm not going to harbor these 9 points here, but essentially it's about being as simple as just opening your web browser. That's the easiest way to get logged into DocuWare. We can go straight in through our web browser, and we're able to complete our tasks. We're obviously able to start that process by capturing those documents and being able to sort them in a logical way. Now, again, you're going to see how that can happen without even the introduction of a scanner. So right the way back to simple things such as a mobile phone, the thing that we're all seem to be surgically attached to these days. So we're going to show you a little bit of that. Obviously, the purpose of DocuWare and what lots and lots of people use DocuWare for in many different walks of life is the power of actually capturing information. For long times, pieces of paper that we've scanned in have become locked PDFs. They're great, we can see them. They're nothing more than a photo in many cases. But DocuWare's real power starts right at the beginning when we're sending those documents in. We're capturing that information and actually putting it into a position where we can start to do something with it. And obviously, once we start thinking about doing something with it, it may well be assigning to different people. It may well be joining workflows. It may well be automatic processes that we're going through. And obviously, every different person and every different deployment is done for a completely different reason. And that's the beauty. It's not about one size fits all. It's about let's build the box to fit your business. So the first of our mobile apps that we're going to focus in on today is the Paperscan app. And some of you may have come across this app before. Others, maybe it's new to you. But one of the beauties of Paperscan is it's a very simple app doing a very simple job, and it's free. So most of our competitors, most of the software providers, there will be a cost to every single thing that they do. DocuWare, we don't necessarily subscribe to that. This is quite a simple app. It's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store for anyone that uses either Apple or Android. And it's about capturing that information. We can capture it really, really simple. We can see all the things we've scanned right at a glance there within the dashboard that you can see on the left-hand side, through to recognizing documents automatically and starting to go through that intelligent process of breaking them down. And even we don't have to be as careful as maybe you might think. You can cut and crop images straight there in the app, very, very simply, very, very easily. And again, I'll show you a little bit of that a little bit later. And then it's about, well, how do we share this? Now we've got this this image. How do we share it? And that could be as simple as sharing it via a text message or an email. Right the way through to maybe doing things a little bit more intelligently, and going through the actual DocuWare product and submitting your receipt or your document directly into the DocuWare system there. So we're going to focus in on that paper scan app and just give you a bit of a demo as to how that works. The second one that you're going to see from me today is the DocuWare mobile app. So this is the one that it is actually part of the DocuWare product. So all the features and the facilities and the workflows that you have built into your actual DocuWare system live in your business, they're going to be replicated into this app, and they're going to provide me with the ability to be able to work on the move. Again, it's available in the Apple and Google Play Store. So it can be downloaded onto smartphones, both Apple and Android there. The only thing with this app is you do need a license. Now, obviously, if you're using the DocuWare system within your business, then of course you're likely to have a license already available to you. However, if you have any questions in relation to licensing and what the kind of crossovers are and changes and requirements, please feel free to reach out to your local regional sales director, and they will be very, very happy to answer any questions. Or alternatively, as I say, my contact details are available. Please feel free to reach out and I'll happily explain that to you myself. Not a problem at all. Finally, I'm going to touch on forms. Now, forms is a subject that I would say over the past 12 months, certainly in the last 6 months, is something that I've been asked about more than most other features. And I think that's probably driven by the idea that actually we've stopped doing things within 4 walls. And of course, the world getting turned upside down absolutely had an effect on that. Let's be honest about it. But in reality, it's something that I think businesses have been thinking about for a long, long time, far before all the situation that is currently going on. But essentially, it's about how do we allow our people or external people to start giving us information quickly and easily and in the most convenient way possible. And again, I touched on the idea earlier that our mobile phones are something we're practically surgically attached to now. Everyone's got one in their pocket. If it's not in your pocket, it's probably in your hand. So just by being able to do that quickly and easily and on the devices that actually we're comfortable using, we use every single day, that's again a really powerful way of ensuring that we're communicating with our people and the people that we want to be communicating with correctly and efficiently. So what are the use cases? Why do people use document management on the go? What's the whole idea? So I guess there's a few, and I think some of these are going to come back to areas that you're all very used to, conversations that everybody has been having, maybe more focused on the office for quite some time, but actually this is now a case of we can start to take the office with us wherever we go. So the first one I'm going to touch on today is invoices, and certainly in my area of the world, I would say this is probably makes up a high proportion of the reason people actually come to us and the reason people talk to us. Invoices is something that it's a problem for most businesses. Most businesses will make it work, but are already conscious that actually it takes up a lot of our staff hours, a lot of our time, and actually we don't make any money. This is about how we're spending money, how we're sending money out of our business. So obviously it makes sense that we should rationalize that, and we should make sure that that as a cost to our business is as low as physically possible, just to help our productivity and our profitability, essentially, which is what most businesses are obviously there for. So straight away, just using those mobile apps, we're able to review and capture that information and store it away. And it could well be that actually I'm the first port of contact where I'm storing that information into the system, but then it's actually being assigned back to the office where someone else is then picking it up and taking it on and starting to work through that process as they're going on there. The second one I'm going to touch on is orders. Now, of course, every business wants orders. I'm sure there's very, very few businesses out there that don't require orders to be placed. And that could be as simple as, can I order this particular product? Very, very simple, buy it for this price, ship it out to this location. Absolutely brilliant, great use of a form, and makes it really, really easy for people to do business with you. But actually, maybe it's a little bit more complex. And maybe it really is about how we start to place those first stages of orders so that we can do something as simple as booking a scope. Let's get someone out. Let's get someone to understand what my requirements are. So orders can be done in a variety of different ways. And it's one of the areas that personally I always find very, very interesting when I sit and start to look at how businesses are receiving orders, because it always surprises me how many different ways businesses seem to be able to do that. Delivery notes, for anyone that has done work within the logistics industry, they will absolutely understand this one without a shadow of a doubt. These are gold. These are the elements where I can prove that I have supplied you with a product or a service, it may well be. And this is the area where a customer is signing off to say, yes, I have received this product. And this is probably the area where actually it triggers the business to be able to send an invoice. So actually suddenly we go from supplying the product or service to actually being able to send you an invoice to get paid. So again, the faster we can make that process and the more slick we can make that process from order through to deliver an invoice, actually the better a business's cash flow becomes, because the faster we're getting that money paid into us. So something that is absolutely golden. It could be something more related to your staff, making things easy about expenses, putting in our expenses and making those available and slick. Again, that's something that certainly over the last 6 months we ran some questionnaires to find out what people were really worried about, what they were struggling with, and one of the key things was, okay, they understand they have to make expenses for business, but they want that money back as quickly as possible. And I think that's something that, yeah, okay, it's probably always been there, but it's certainly been emphasized over the last 6 months or so. Finally, photos. So photos are something that we don't necessarily always think about when we start to think of documents and how we can submit things. But of course, they happen in everyday life, and I think photos and videos are something that's happening more and more and more as time goes on. Little example there, obviously, if I was to have a little bump in my car, and I can promise you that isn't my car, don't worry, I am on the roads, but yeah, that's not mine. So we're able to take a little photo of exactly what's happened, maybe even a photo of someone else's car if they've hit you or you've hit them, and be able to submit that again quickly and easily just by attaching to a form or submitting via the apps and things. Absolutely fine. We can send those straight into the system and start to process it. Now that could be quick and easy. Obviously, if you've got a company car, then that is even more important, because the quicker we can let our fleet and HR teams know that something has happened, the quicker they jump into action, and we start to resolve the situation for everybody involved, of course. So let's have a little look. Let's have a little look at how this works. And I'm going to start off today looking at the Paperscan app. So just if I can just switch this over, and you'll see here that I've got my mobile phone screen on the right hand of my screen here, and we've got the DocuWare system open on the left hand side there. So what you'll be able to see is, as I start working on that Paperscan app there, you'll be able to see my desk. Now I'm going to use a receipt here as my as my document. So just by going over there, we'll be able to see, I can take a little snap of that particular receipt. That's simple, no more difficult than taking any old picture within the within your mobile phone. And then I can start to crop this image down. So just by moving the elements around, we can see very easily and very quickly and simply, I can start to crop that image down to remove my desk there and just leave us with the actual information that we require for that particular receipt. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that, and this is where we'll cross over, because I'm going to go ahead and submit that into the DocuWare system. So you can see on our bottom bar here, we have the DocuWare app available to me, and just by going into select the tray for expenses there, you'll be able to see that automatically it's able to swap apps. So it's now swapped me into the DocuWare app, and it's submitted that receipt into my expenses. Now you can see on the left hand side of my screen there that actually what that's done is it's taken it into the tray. You can see that it's gone through the intelligent indexing process there, and actually just by going into the trays on our mobile app, you can also see that it's available in the mobile app for option here. Now we can see that actually we can start to work together. So yes, okay, you're seeing me process this on the app. That's absolutely fine. Equally, I may see this come in on the desktop, and actually I could start submitting the same thing. So you can start to see actually exactly the same thing across the two processes there, both the web browser and also the app. Now we can go through and you can see the intelligent indexing that I've scratched on my app there. There we go. So we can start to index some of these fields. You can tell it it's a receipt. If I spell it correctly, of course. And of course, it's processed through there. So we can see that starting to go into the system. And that again will then join our lists where we can see I've got a few different receipts that have just joined the situation here. Of course, some forms as well. We'll come on to forms in just a second. So really what you've seen there is you've seen that that process of me being able to scan something in via our mobile app. You've seen it join our dashboards and enter our trays. You've seen me be able to process that not only by touching my mobile phone, but also through our web client as well. And you've seen the sort of crossover so that a couple of things can happen, and we can see different people working on the different mediums there. So the final thing that we mentioned was forms. Now, forms are obviously something that, as I say, is very, very important and something that I'm getting asked about an awful lot. I'm sure lots and lots of you are as well. So we can see that, and I'm sure you're all aware, we can have our forms that have been created. And this is a very, very simple holiday request form. It's one that I made just for sort of for the purpose of today's demo. And actually, you can see that if I just change my mobile phone screen here and just flick over to our form on here, we can also see that exact same form has been redone for our mobile app. So you can see it on my mobile phone screen there. So again, a quick and easy way of me being able to place a request for a holiday. So in this case, we'll quickly fill it out with my details there. Pre-populated is today's date. The first day, we'll say, well, maybe we could take tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm sure Eugene will want a bit more notice than that, but there we go. We'll submit it in that way, and we can see that that's just one day that I'm requesting there. Now, the first ones you can see with the little stars there, we've made mandatory fields. So, of course, if I'm going to apply for a holiday, I'm going to have at least one day. Otherwise, I wouldn't be applying. However, you can see also you've got the choice on the second ones down. We haven't made those mandatory. So again, you can have as many of those as you like to be able to request. So the total number of days that I'm requesting is just the one. And I can even take that down as far as putting a little signature on the screen there on my mobile app. We can pick today's date, and I'll go ahead and just submit that. Now, of course, if we submit these forms, we can then build workflows so that that would then be submitted to my manager for him to go ahead and authorize that day off, or even reject it if that's not possible, of course. So we'll go ahead and just submit that that directly on my mobile phone there. Nice little Apple whirring, and that'll be submitted in just a second. So I guess what we've seen there is a quick and easy process where I've been able to apply for a day's holiday, but not actually go into the office to be able to do that. I can literally do it from any device, anywhere on the planet, whether it be a computer on the type of form that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, or even on my mobile phone on the right-hand side there. So a couple of quick demos on the different apps and different functions that are available to you. By no means a full list, but I'm sure we can get you started. And if anyone's got any questions or things they want to pick up, again, feel free, reach out to your regional sales director or even myself, and we'll be happy to talk you through how you can build on top of what you've seen today. So just to recap, we've obviously seen the Paperscan app. So it's a completely free mobile app available from both the Apple store and also the Google store there as well. We've captured a receipt and we've sent that into our tray for processing. So you've seen that happen today. It's been stored with the intelligent indexing that I added within the system. And then, of course, you would be able to go ahead and search for particular documents at any time as well. The Document mobile app, so again, that is our mobile app that's connected to our actual DocuWare system. Again, if you want any questions with relicensing and things like that, feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to talk you through there. We've seen actually the receipt come in from Paperscan. You saw it cross over and swap the app for me to be able to use our DocuWare mobile app. We added the stamp when that was submitted. So again, perfectly possible for you to go ahead and do that as well. And then, of course, you can make any searches and things directly from that app as well. So exactly the same as using your normal DocuWare system as if you were sat in the office. Now, the final thing I opened and used there was DocuWare Forms. Again, something that I would highly advise everyone get familiar with. This is a question I'm asked an awful lot by customers. So it's a massive opportunity for people to support their customers and businesses with the power of DocuWare Forms. We opened that form on both the computer and also on the mobile phone there, and we were able to complete and submit that information ready for processing. I'm not sure I'd get a day off tomorrow, but who knows, we can live in hope, I guess. So the DocuWare Cloud, I'm sure most people have come into contact with the cloud version at some point. Of course, it's the way the world's going. I think the whole world is moving cloud. I was going to say slowly but surely, but I'm not sure it's even that slowly. Obviously, the big benefit with our DocuWare Cloud is everything is included. We don't have to think about what modules we require, what needs to happen. It's all included. It's what we like to call a complete feature set. It's high usability, and it's really simple to customize our system right for individual needs and individual requirements. So again, always worth sitting and having those conversations, even if actually DocuWare doesn't automatically seem like the best fit. It's always worth understanding, well, what is the customer trying to achieve here? Because our complete flexibility and our real power of integrating with other systems means that actually we've joined the center of some really powerful solutions. And of course, we're built on that Azure backbone, so that Microsoft backbone there. So the real power of that is that we live in that Microsoft data center. We've got that 98% uptime. So again, if someone's worried about data and resilience and things like that, we've got a really good message, and we can really support that process of making sure that uptime is very high. We've got a little case study or a bit of a testimonial there that you can see from Matt Powell. He was very kind to say a few words, but one of the things that I want to really kind of drill in on as an example of the power here was that they spent a lot of time on cost approvals. and actually they saw it reduce from 4 hours to 30 minutes per week. So obviously when we think of productivity and supporting what is generally small departments within businesses, that's a really, really helpful tool, because we've been able to give them 3.5 hours of their time back. So a really, really powerful message from Matt there. Guys, that's brought us to a close for today's webinar. So thank you very, very much for your assistance and your patience here. I can see a couple of questions have come in. I'm going to just try and answer those for you. So okay, I'm really sorry. The first one is I think is in French actually. Apologies, I don't actually speak French, but if you would like to reach out to either myself or one of our colleagues, very happy to talk through and try and understand what we're trying to do there. Will the presentation be available offline, please? I can absolutely provide you with the slides, not a problem at all. David, if you just send me an email, I will I'll get those over to you. My email address is andrew.barnett, that's BARNETT @documeware.com. You have no audio. Apologies, really, the webinar will be recorded, so that will be available for you to grab from our website afterwards. So hopefully that will help with that. What is the format of the captured documents? So the ones you've seen me submit today have been PDFs. I guess if you had other requirements, happy to talk through those. Please feel free to get in touch. But yeah, the ones you've seen me submit today, they were submitted in PDF format. Could scan more than one page? Yeah, absolutely. So we can do multi-scan. Absolutely not a problem. That can be done either from your scanners or directly from the app there. Very confident that we can use any device. Yeah, I'm not aware of a device that we can't use. So yeah, if you've got any sort of specific queries on that, please feel free to reach out. But any kind of device with, I guess, a smartphone, a tablet, anything like that would be absolutely fine. Can we restrict access for people? Only company VPN. Okay, so can you restrict access? So yes, absolutely. We're a permissions-based solution. So again, with those permissions that we build within DocuWare, yep, you can restrict what people can do there. Not a problem at all. Is that the last one? How can DocuWare be integrated with an ERP system? Do you have APIs? Yes, we do have APIs available. Obviously, ERP systems are well, I mean, they're available in many different flavors. So I think the best advice I can give you there is have a chat with your regional sales director. We do have APIs available with various different systems such as Sage and Cispro and Nav and things like that. But if you've got anything sort of specific, please do sort of reach out to your regional sales director, who will be able to talk through the different options. There's also the option to export information. So for some ERP systems, especially some of the maybe the older ones, the more legacy systems, APIs aren't necessarily available on their side of the fence, but actually there's still the ability to be able to export in sort of XML or CSV or something of that sort of ilk that they can then import into their system. So again, absolutely available, but have a chat with your regional sales director to understand your specific needs there. Can you have a copy of the presentation? Absolutely, no problem at all. It'll be available on the website after our session. Yeah, absolutely, it's being recorded. So Rudy, yeah, you can get that from the website. It should be available. If not this morning, sorry, if not this afternoon, it will be available tomorrow. I'm seeing a few people asking about that. How we get it recorded? Absolutely, grab that from the website. If forwarding invoices to approvers for them to approve, would the approvers also need a license to view these? So if they're going to approve something as part of a workflow, then absolutely that would happen within the normal process. So they could have either a workflow license or they could have a full DocuWare license. But absolutely, yes, that is available, not a problem. In order to use mobile application, do you need to have the SaaS version, or does no? So it is available on premise. There is a slightly different license model when you're looking at the on-premise version. So it would be worth just having a chat with your regional sales director there, Christine, and they'll give you all the information. Or again, feel free to reach out to me and I'll happily give you that information. But yes, absolutely, it's available. It's just about getting that that license element correct. Does DocuWare Cloud come with the? Yes, so DocuWare Cloud does come with the DocuWare mobile application, so it is part of the system. Again, comes back to that that full feature spec there. So absolutely, can invoice be captured, picked up automatically from OCR scan solutions or a manual process? I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. I think you mean, can we just import them automatically? I guess the quick answer to that would be yes. We probably need to understand a little bit about the scan solution that you're using there, just to work out the best way of getting those to automatically input. But Kevin, good question. Yeah, I'd be interested to know a little bit more about what you're trying to do there. But yes, I'm sure there is there are possibilities available to you. I'm just looking at the time and I'm seeing that I've run over by a few minutes. I'm happy to keep answering these questions, so I'll fire through them. But obviously, if anyone has to shoot, then I do understand that. So thank you if you do, but I will shoot through some of the rest of these questions. How do you log out of the DocuWare app to log in as a different user? I'm not sure why you would do that, Gregory. Is that, I'm not sure, is that for demo purposes maybe? I guess it could be. There is a log out section, so you can just log out and log in with a different login. I guess in normal day-to-day use probably wouldn't happen as much, because I would only have my own login to work on. But yeah, I guess for demo purposes maybe is the reason for that question. And yes, you could just log out and log in with a different user. Absolutely. Is it possible to link directly to Xero accounting package, Carol? Absolutely. So yes, there are a couple of different options for integrating with Xero, and there are a couple of, there's an API available. There's also options to email information into Xero as well. So there's a couple of options available. Carol, I would suggest if you reach out to your regional sales director, or even myself, we'll happily have that conversation with you to make sure that we give you the best advice on that. But the quick answer is yes. Okay, I think that's all of them. So guys, thank you very, very much for your time today. Really appreciate everyone's time. Best of luck, and hopefully I'll meet you all very soon. Take care, have a great day. Bye bye.